Okay guys, I promised you some videos on today's worksheet, which I'm calling homework. So this is Linear Systems Homework Part 2. So here's number 4. On Part 1, guys, I did problems 1, 2, and 3. So here's number 4. So this one's one of the tougher ones because notice how the x's are totally different and so are the y's, right? So I have to figure out a clever way to get them to be the same numbers, the same coefficients. So I'm going to go ahead and match up the 7 and the 5. Okay? And so here's what I'm going to do, guys. Now you're going to have to think about this a little bit, all right? But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the first equation and I'm going to times it by 5. Okay? And what that's going to do is, if you notice, I'm going to get a negative 35x, right? I might as well finish up. Plus 35y. Distributing 5 times negative 21 is negative 105. Okay, so I see how I distributed the 5. 5 times negative 7, 5 times 7, 5 times negative 21, right? Now the second equation, I'm going to times by negative 7. Watch what happens. Negative 7 times negative 5 is positive 35x. Negative 7 times 10 is negative 70y. Negative 7 times negative 5 is a positive 35. Positive 35. Okay. Now, why did I do the 5 and the negative 7? Because look right here, guys. Didn't I make one a negative 35 and the other one a positive 35? And of course, 35 minus 35 is 0. And now I'm just left with y's. I'm left with negative 35y equal to negative 70. Once I divide by negative 35, I know my y equals positive 2, because a negative and a negative is a positive. Now I'm going to plug that into, let's say, my first equation right there. Let's see what we get. Negative 7x plus 7y is 2 equals negative 21. Negative 7x plus 14 equals negative 21. By the way, I could have used the second equation. If you were really crazy, you could use one of the two that we made up by multiplying, okay? Any one of those 4 equations would have worked, okay? But I decided to always pick the first one usually. But anyways, so now once I minus 14 both sides, negative 7x is going to equal negative 35. And once I divide by negative 7, I know x is positive 5. And so my final answer is 5, 2. Right? My final result is 5, 2. Pause the video if you need to. But guys, I want to remind you, don't forget, this is what we're really solving for. Notice the 2 lines crossing each other, right? The red and blue lines there? Well, are they not crossing or meeting or intersecting right there at 5, 2? And that is exactly what we got here, 5, 2, right? So that's what we're really doing when we're solving these. We're looking to see where they cross each other. Okay? Pause the video again if you need to. Let's do one more. Guys, now this one's going to work a little bit easier because notice how that's already y equal to negative 8x. So whenever it's already solved for x or y, we can use substitution. So this one we're going to use substitution. I'm going to put that negative 8x in there, okay? Because these y's, if we want to know where they're the same, they're equal to each other, right? So I'm going to substitute, we call that substituting, negative 8x in there. So I have negative 8x, that replaced the y right there, equal to negative 5x plus 3. Now it's a simple solve here, right? I'm just going to add 5x to both sides. Once I add 5x to both sides, negative 5x is gone. I have negative 3x equal to 3. Dividing by negative 3, I know x is simply negative 1. I'm now going to plug my number right in there. I know y has to equal negative 8 times x, which we now know is negative 1. Again, I just plugged it right in there, right, for x. And so therefore, y has to equal positive 8. Sorry for the bell there, guys. So y equals positive 8, and so my answer is negative 1 for x, 8 for y. Pause the video if you need to. So one more time, guys, don't forget, what's the point of doing all this algebra is this. These lines are actually almost parallel to each other, if you notice. But do you agree they cross right there at negative 1, 8, which is exactly what we got here. So pause the video one more time if you need to. So guys, hopefully you got something out of this video. So just as a summary, there's two methods I'm going to get us to master. We're going to do substitution like in number 5. And of course, we've already been doing a bunch of elimination method. We'll practice this for several more days before the quiz. Okay, guys? Until next time, bye.